All right, we are back. UFC Vegas 105. Lerone Murphy versus Joshua Emmett. Full card breakdown. Sorry to delay the show. Drav, do you want to apologize to our fans and explain to them why you had to move it from Wednesday to Friday? What was so important to our award-winning listeners that you had to move the date?
Do you really want me to tell them?
What is it?
Peg was too busy, so he couldn't make the show, and he's making it on my fault. But yeah,
You
I
guys
was
believe what
ready.
you will. Look
I
at
was
Key's
ready
face while he's
Wednesday.
saying
Like,
this. Look at Key's face while he's saying this. You can't even believe him.
I mean,
It's your fault.
I've listened to the on Johnny Pod, and you said that it was all your fault. So you're fucked now, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, guys. Life gets in the way sometimes. But
It's always your fault.
we got an interesting card in front of us. Obviously, is it 2 fights removed or 1 fight removed from this card? I know the Grant fight, the Grant
Yeah,
Santos fight.
And Kennedy pull out. So there's like the fight is not off, but there's
Is Romious still fighting even though he missed by like 4 pounds?
Yeah, he is. He missed by 3.5, I think. But
gotcha.
Yeah, the card's actually pretty nice, and it's the first time we're doing a live Friday. So let's see if we have people in here. But it's
going to be slow end of the week, not our usual time.
I don't know, but I'll say though it's kind of cool because normally when we do Wednesday, like we would have break down the Grant fight and the Kennedy fight for nothing. So, and now it's the real fight.
True.
So
that's true. All right, we're gonna get right into this card. Key, you're gonna go first because it's a low-level girls fight. Let's do this here. Present. Okay. First fight of the night we have is Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. Vanessa Demopoulos, she's 11-6, 36, 5'2", 59-inch reach. Talita Alencar is 5'1" 34, 5'1", 58.5-inch reach. I didn't realize she's 34 years old. Line on these two ladies is straight pick them across the board, 110 apiece. Low-level girls fight. We've seen Vanessa Demopoulos get taken down before. She obviously got subbed her last fight against Amarim. She's fighting another girl who is great at jiu-jitsu. What do we think, Key? Another sub coming for Alencar, or does Vanessa Demopoulos give her a hard time and pull out a win?
I think on the feet, Demopoulos is a better striker. I'm not really interested in this fight personally. I think Alencar will I see decision. I don't see her subbing Vanessa. The Amarim sub was kind of stupid because Vanessa was complaining about the glove grab and all sorts of shit. So I think that Alencar here, top time upside. What is line currently on Bet Online?
110.
Yeah, minus 110. I think that that's probably somewhat about right. And for me, it's kind of a pass fight because I think Vanessa is obviously the better striker and is going to hit harder. And Alencar is just awful on the feet. So for me, it's a pass. If you got Alencar dog money, it can make sense to me. But outside of that, I don't have much interest in this fight.
Dravy, I feel like you got a pretty good take on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I might have some Alencar dog money. And yeah, I like him when she was the underdog. Now, I still think there's value at minus 110 personally, just because, and we have our boy Liam in the chat. Yeah, I know he said never fade a stripper in Vegas. So that Demopoulos is a girl. So I don't know. He said Vanessa volume. Yeah, Liam is probably on Vanessa here, I assume. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my thing here. It's like the way I see this fight playing out personally is I think that Alencar, we can count on her to wrestle for 15 minutes. Even though her cardio is not great, if you look into her past UFC performance, even counting the Dana White Contender Series fight, she shoot 10 plus takedowns in every single fight. And I think the difference here compared to her other fights is that, first of all, Vanessa is smaller than her past opponents. And also, Vanessa is not going to really try to defend takedowns, and she doesn't have good takedown defense. So I think that's going to make the takedowns come easier. And when the takedowns come easier, you're going to get less tired. That's just part of the game. And we know Vanessa has like 27% takedown defense. She's just happy to play off her back. And I know she has a good armbar, but I really don't see her getting a sub off her back here. And the way I see it is I think Alencar is going to be the one shooting. And I think her wrestling is decent. And I know she's going to shoot like 10 plus takedowns here. So I think she needs one around. And Vanessa get up is not good enough for me to either think she's going to get up or getting a sub off her back. So Alencar just need like maybe 3 or 4 takedowns here and she wins the fight. And I think that she's going to get it based on past history. And, you know, even the Dynamo Contender Series fight, yes, she got tired in round 3, but she was still up 2-0, you know, and the girl that she lost to, I think she's pretty good and she's pretty big too. So, and I think her grappling is legit personally. But like you said, I'm not sure she's going to find a sub, but I do think she's going to have opportunity to do so. But I see this fight being probably a decision fight that Alencar is going to be the one initiating the wrestling and then getting on top and winning minute there. I think she's going to have like 10 plus minutes of control time in that fight personally. And Vanessa just trying to, you know, find a sub that she doesn't get. And I hope I don't get robbed. And Liam made a ton of money of that girl at big plus money, but I think the market's kind of catching up here. And, you know, she's minus 110. She's not like plus 250 or something. So, yeah, I think that Alencar is the side personally. And she's going to get takedowns and win minutes on top.
Yeah, I agree with you, Drav. I kind of taped this fight going into it. I originally was looking at it. I was like, Vanessa Demopoulos against a girl who is relatively one-dimensional. This is a home run. Went in the tapes. Vanessa gets taken down too easily, too comfortable laying on her back. Alencar is a better grappler, better jiu-jitsu artist. Seems pretty straightforward. 110 apiece. Probably got to lean Alencar. But as of right now, I have no bet. I kind of like what Liam said here too. I don't mind trying to get a look at where did he say? Oh no, it was Champ. I'm sorry. Champ said getting a live bet on Demopoulos or Alencar, depending on how the fight's looking.
Yeah. But she's gonna get taken down. I can guarantee. And then the thing I can't guarantee is that she's gonna get up. I'm pretty sure she won't. So, you know, and the striking dynamic. I know Vanessa's the better striker and she has some sneaky power, but I personally think this fight's gonna play out on the ground like 75% of the time, like of the 15 minutes. So I don't really see much striking happening. Of course, we have to favor Vanessa, but it's not like she's an insanely good striker or something like that. So I think Alencar is going to be fine, and I also predict her to get less tired than usual in that fight because takedown's going to be easier.
All right, next fight here. It is the Fat Boys, Martin Buday versus Uran Sadibaldiev. Pretty good for a first time looking at it. Buday is 14-2, 33, 6'4", 77-inch reach. Sadibaldiev is 9-0. He is 6'4", 80-inch reach. Odds, these two gentlemen, I thought it was like close to a pick'em, right? Last I checked. It is.
A lot of money came in on Buday.
Yep, Buday is minus 170, but Uran is plus 150. I'm going to be honest, I'll let you guys go. I didn't even tape this fight. It happened too late in the week. Was too busy. Didn't really look into it. Probably going to have to say Uran or pass here. Buday sucks. He's not a good fighter. Probably would have been on Kennedy Nchukwu by KO if that fight was still there. Uran seems pretty good. Kind of would lean him. At this dog odds, I'll take it. Probably dog or pass. What do you think, Drav?
Yeah. Again, I don't want to be unprofessional, but I also didn't have time to tape that one personally. But the thing that I've noticed when I look into it quickly on, I just wiki cap it and look into this other guy Instagram a little bit. And, you know, there is a couple factors we need to, yeah, he's awful. All right, nice. So I was about to say he's making his UFC debut on 2 days notice. So first of all, against anybody, that's never an easy task. And then you had the fact that this guy is a light heavyweight. He's not an heavyweight. I know he's pretty big, but if you look into his resume, he actually have a fight at middleweight. So Buday is going to be much bigger here. And we know his game. He loves to be in the clinch and win minute there. So I kind of assume he might just be bigger and just clinch this guy and, you know, win again a boring decision. But Buday is just never Buday at chalk for me personally. So it's just not a fight I have any interest looking into because there's just no way I'm going to bet this other guy. And then I don't want to play Buday or anything. Maybe there's some props that are interesting, but I'm going to pick Buday, I guess, but I didn't look too deep into it. Just wiki cap it. And yeah, this guy's moving up to decent cardio. All
All
right.
right. Well, I did take this fight.
All right, go ahead, bro.
The man
Yeah,
himself, the GOAT.
Uran is complete shit. Everything that Liam is saying is pretty much true for the most part. He's going life or death with fat Brazilian taxi drivers. Um, I this just shows how bad that the light heavyweight division is on the regional scene. The fact that this guy became LFA champ, because he's not facing good competition in my opinion. He's hittable, getting hurt, having to come back in fights where he should just absolutely dominate. He does sort of set somewhat of a relentless pace grappling, but he was like I believe like a -800 favorite last time out, and Suarez was like giving him hell. I went into tape wanting, of course, to try to fade Buday, and saw very quickly that Sati Baldiev is absolute ass. I know he's at Team Alpha Male or whatever, but this is an awful fight. Honestly, neither guy should be here. Just take both out back after the fight.
All right.
You're
All
muted,
right.
Peg.
So I actually changed my pick. I'm gonna go Buday. I'm what? I don't think I'm muted, am I?
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. Yeah, I changed my pick. I'm going Buday. All right. Next fight.
We have some comments, Peg. Come on, bro. Come on.
Oh, comments. That's right. All right. Is
He
Buday
doesn't have
still the
time for
Asphalt
you
Park?
guys. He doesn't have time for you guys. Come on, Peg, bro.
I didn't know he was ever at that gym.
I don't think he did this camp with them.
Yeah, but I've seen he did went there, but I don't think he's still there. Somebody in the chat, so big butt Buday all day. Yeah, I assume they might be him and they're probably a part of the line movement, I assume. Yeah, I'll trust Liam and Key2. I'm not even gonna waste time and tape it personally. I have no interest, but yeah, there's gonna be better fights on the card, guys. So just not the better one to start off.
All right, next fight: Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. Victor Henry is 24-7. He's 37, 5'7", 68-inch reach. I'm so sick of seeing this guy. Falcao is 16-4. He's 32, 5'6", 66-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen: you can get Henry anywhere from -200 to -230. You get Falcao anywhere from +170 to +180. No interest in betting this fight. Dog or pass for me. I'm not interested in Victor Henry at -200. I think Falcao is pretty good. He's pretty well rounded. I like him. I think he's a good fighter. Victor Henry, volume, good. Other than that, 37 years old. Not too interested in betting it, but I'm going to say dog or pass for me. What do you think, Drav?
Yeah, I think he has a stronger read than me on this one. I don't really have a strong one either. There's echo, Peg, mute yourself. But I personally think that Henry is gonna win it. But again, I don't feel good about it. I just think that he has just more experience, been there, done that. It's gonna learn more, do more, and he's durable. I know you got caught in a guillotine, and I've heard some people talk shit about my boy Charles Jourdain, but if there's a thing about him, about his guillotine, is that they're pretty slick. I know he catch Ramos the fight prior. So yeah, I think his guillotine is very slick, and Henry got caught in it. I mean, he almost escaped, and then he got caught in it again. So it is what it is. He was looking kind of good prior to that. So I think he's a good fighter, but I think Falcao has like all the upside. That's kind of my problem with this current price. I think that he's gonna hit harder. I think he might grapple, and I just think that at this point he's 32 and he has the higher ceiling and their point in their career. So I couldn't bet Henry at this price, but for what it's worth, I think he's gonna win probably a decision here. He's not much of a finisher. We've made some money on his 2-3 last fight, I think, or 2 fights ago. Me and Key against what's his name, the grappler. Yeah. Right. So that was a good performance there, but yeah, it's just no striking. So that was kind of a cooking spot for him. But yeah, Falcao is not bad, I'll say. I bet him in his debut, and it was short notice for him, and he kind of looked good. So I think he might look better here because he's on the full cam. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna pick Henry to get it done. Again, not really much interest, but yeah, I do think you have a strong read here.
Key, what's your read? Tell the class.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy Henry spot. I got it at -155. I think that that's a pretty good number. I think that this line is pretty much a lot of bias based off of Henry's age, and he hasn't shown just like complete like washed or just looking to slow down massively at all. I mean, just from an activity standpoint, I mean, Henry's fought 9 times since the beginning of 2020, and Falcao's fought, I believe, like twice. One in Tough Enough, boxing fight against Anderson Dos Santos, and then the short notice fight he took. He moved to Vegas and was looking for a short notice spot. And that's the reason. So it wasn't like he was just coming off the couch. He was training, expecting, and sort of hoping to hear for a short notice replacement needing to come up for Victor Hugo. So I'm not surprised to see this. Cardio didn't look awful in that fight, but he just looked very limited. I mean, he's just not a. I don't agree with Peg in saying that he's very well rounded, because I don't think he's well rounded at all. I think he's takedown or bust here. His hands are awful. It's pretty much big overhands or big hooks into takedown. Victor Henry's a good wrestler, catch wrestling background. Josh Barnett, we know the whole background. I think people are talking about him getting gillied by Jourdain. I agree with Drav. I think Jourdain's last like 4 out of 5 wins or 3 out of 4 wins or something are from guillotine. So I mean, his guillotine's just legit. And anybody can get caught like that. And if you go back and watch the scramble in the exchange, that's just you got caught. I think that Henry's a great grappler on the feet. He's going to throw a lot of volume. I think that the movement is going to cause Falcao some issues. Falcao's footwork is bad and very robotic, in my opinion. I think that Henry's teep kicks will be a major play here. I don't see a way that Falcao, outside of just sort of weaseling a 29-28 decision somehow by a bunch of cage pushing and hoping he gets to the back, I don't really see how he ends up finding a win here. I don't think that he subs him, and I think that his margins are pretty thin. So Henry, I think round 3 KO, or I can see 29-28, even 30-27. I think that Henry's just a completely better fighter than him, has fought the better competition. Falcao has no good wins. I think that this was a pretty easy click at -155 for me.
All right. Nick, I'll do a little bit of comments here. Henry wins, good takedown defense, outdoing Cap. Probably wins on volume too. Yo, Dan, thanks for joining us, bro. Appreciate that, guys. Drop us a like, drop us a sub. Liam, Victor puts his head in the hole 4 times and got ninja choked. One of my favorite, but Falcao, my surprise for striking. Don't trust him in the striking.
Yeah, striking is weird. I have a hard time capping his striking because, like he said, I don't think it's good, but it seems like he has some power, but his process on the feet is just not great. So, and we know what we're getting with Henry at this point. So, even if he's older, like I don't think he's washed by any means. He was looking good against Charles before getting caught.
Yeah. All right. Next fight: Loma Luke Boonme versus Istela Nunes. Nunes is 6-5, 1-4 in her last 5, 32, 5'4", 66-inch reach. Loma is 9-3. She is 4-1 in her last 5. Right. She's 29, 5'1", 61.5-inch reach.
I have a question, Peg. I'm gonna just do it. What you do normally, you ask people after we break down a fight, and I don't want to bet this fight because it's a mess. But Key, why shouldn't we bet Nunes at +700 that she is right now? Like, what are we doing now? +700 on Istela Nunes. So Key, tell us. Should we bet Nunes at +700 here?
I can't lie, it's not like an awful look. And I think that there's no way in hell outside of Istela just deciding to quit that Loma looks and justifies -1100 or so. I don't see a way that Loma's going to just completely dominate this fight. I think Istela will have moments early, but Estela's just not. I don't think that she's an MMA fighter, honestly. I think that she should have stuck in Muay Thai or kickboxing. She just doesn't mix the martial arts well at all. It's kind of allergic to a real fight. I think that her range control, if you just sit and you're allowing her to have a patient fight, I think that she's pretty solid whenever she can fight on her terms, which is just very offensive and at range. And she does fight very long, but she's not as big as I expected in the face-offs. Like, she wasn't massive over Loma. I think that Loma has grappling upside here. I think Loma gets it done. I think Nunes is probably a value loser. But this is nasty work. Istela hasn't won a fight since 2018, I don't think, and won. So to me, this is a easy pass. I was tempted. I will say, I talked about it on Johnny K's podcast. Go check that out. I was tempted to take Nunes, but the tape is just really bad, honestly. Outside of the moments that she has, she just can't put together complete performances.
I mean, I think you just have to take Nunes is plus 700 just off a value play.
What's the spread? The spread could be interesting. Like,
It's not gonna be that good though, because the spread opened when she was like plus 450, plus 500.
I'll tell you in a second. I'm
Normally they
looking.
don't
Do
adjust
your
to-
breakdown while I look, Drav. What do you think for this one? I think it's dog or pass. Plus 700 is crazy. I would have no problem putting you put a quarter of a unit on her and you'll make good money.
See what happened. Yeah, I mean, I don't, like he said, I don't really want to bet this fight either. But it's like at this point, they're kind of forcing my end, because like who's gonna win the first round here? Like, I think the first round's gonna be very close. The problem with
Nunes spread is plus 160.
Yeah, no, it's not great. So I think 700, you just take a shot, and you take a small shot at that. But the thing here is, like, there's two things, right? Luma is improving. She's younger. She has some grappling upside. But let's not forget, she's a Muay Thai artist. Like, she's not like a grapper. She mixed in the takedowns. But I've realized that most of the time she's getting takedowns is because people are shooting on her, and then she reverse and shit like that. But she rarely like push a high pace, and she rarely shoots her own takedowns without the other opponent initiating the grappling. So I think that at distance it's gonna be close, because Nunes is a good striker at distance, and while she's fresh, she does it kind of hard, and I don't think she's bad. The problem with her is that she has bad cardio and that she's a bad grappler. So if Luma get on top, it might be trouble. And also that in round 3 we have to favor Luma big time. And also Istela is coming back after a major surgery, so that's a concern. But I know she's at ATT, and we know what that means. So I don't know, 700. I don't know where this line's gonna go, but it just seems like people are parlaying Luma at -7, -800, and I don't know, man. I understand why she's a big favorite, but how can we put her higher than -400? 80% is kind of fair, but how can we go higher than 80%? It's a women MMA fight at the end of the day. It's small girls, and I know she has no win in the UFC, but it's not like she's a bad fighter, and it's probably going to be a striking fight for the most part. So to me, it's just how much grappling upside do you give Luma, and how much finishing upside do you give Luma? Because if the answers to those questions are not a lot, then it's going to be a close decision probably. And you're going to be sweating the -1000 if you put her in a parlay. And don't put a -1000 or -800 in your parlay. Just add nothing. So yeah, dog or pass. But again, pick Luma. But man, plus 700 were kind of like plus 500. I was just happy to pass it. But now it's like it's tempting. I'm not going to lie. So we'll see what I do.
Yeah, I think it's clear dog or pass. I'm probably going to put something small on it, just so I could say I did it when Nunes does actually pull out a win here. I think it'll be pretty funny. Quick comments. Yeah, we said Buday won. Nunes wilty quitter, but she does have solid striking for 8 minutes. ATT water, pump full of cardio. I just showed you. She looks jacked. She's training with Pantoja and those guys. Hey,
and by the way, to Liam point, what he said is true, but that's kind of the thing. If she win the first round and then round 2 is kind of 50-50, man, you want to be on that plus 700, because she's going to lose the third. I'm pretty confident, but I think there's a good shot she win the first. So I don't know, man. I'm getting tempted. Plus 700, someone stop me. I don't want to bet this fight, but yeah, the more I talk about it, the more I want to do it.
All right, next fight, Reese McKee versus Danielle Frunza. Reese McKee is 13-6-1, 29, 6'2", 78-inch reach. Danielle Frunza is 9-2, 30, 6'1", 73-inch reach. odds in these two gentlemen. You can get Reese McKee anywhere from plus 125 to plus 130. Frunza anywhere from minus 145 to minus 155. I'll go first here. I like Reese McKee in this spot. I wanted to get his line earlier. I think he opened plus 170, if I remember correctly. Plus 165. I was looking at, or he opened plus 120, got up to plus 165 when I started doing tapes. By that time, he was like plus 130. Kind of had a buyback a little bit. Reese McKee is the better fighter here. He's more well-rounded. I faded this guy Frunza on Contender Series with Vadim. Obviously lost that by KO, but Vadim was cooking before that. Reese McKee is durable enough to actually last and make this into a fight. As the fight goes on, Frunza will look worse. Reese McKee can grapple. Reese McKee can strike. Reese McKee can submit. I just think overall he's only 29 years old, he's only 29 years old, and he's kind of been just finding his way through the UFC. I have no issue betting Reese McKee here at plus odds. I think he's going to look probably minus 120, minus 150. What do you think, Key?
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on this fight. I do think the Frunza wins, hits harder. Intelligent striker, meat and potatoes, does a lot of the basics and fundamentals well. McKee, center line, head on center line consistently, somewhat of just kind of a zombie, and wins come from honestly just outlasting a lot of guys and pushing a pace. Frunza stays calm. More durable, better hardware, more power. Feels like he's the side. But at minus 140 minus 150, I don't think I can necessarily get around to a bet. But I can't blame anybody that's on Frunza here. But McKee,
McKee hater, bro. McKee hater.
I'm not a hater. It's just like, what is he gonna do? Like
Skeletor.
He's just there. So for me, it's a pass. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to wrestle like he did last fight versus Chidi Bang Bang.
Yeah. Dravhy, what are you thinking?
Is Key back on the Chidi Bang Bang train? That's what we want to know.
Nasty work. Ew.
Bro, he looks so good at 170. I'm sure Key's looking at this past performance and he was just smiling.
It was a proud moment.
Yo, he has so much potential. It was kind of hard to see him fall apart like that. It's kind of crazy. You moved down a weight class, 15 pounds. You're crazy build like that, and now you have good cardio, and you're like, I don't know, but props to him. Yeah, about this fight, I don't really know what's gonna happen. I'll always trying to keep it real with you guys, and I'm looking into this one, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna bet it. I don't feel good about it. Because to me, they're kind of a similar fighter. They both get hit a lot. They both take a lot of damage in their fights. And they're counting on making their opponent tired and then, come back and win and stuff like that. Like we've seen Frunza on Dana White Contender Series. His opponent gassed out and then he capitalized. And Mickey's not going to slow down. The thing I'll say is Frunza on the ground is a 0. He's a white belt. So he's going to get exposed in the UFC. But is Mickey's the one to do it? That's kind of the question, because Mickey is not that good of a wrestler. But he's not normally the one shooting. He's the one getting taken down normally. So if anyone grapple, it's gonna be him. I can guarantee that. Like, he's the better grappler of the two. And on the feet, I expect it to be close, but I just feel like Mickey is more proven. So I don't think he's gonna finish. Personally, I think he's gonna be there, throw a lot of volume and make it a war. And if we look at their level of competition, it's not very close. And Reese McKee made some of these fight close in the UFC, and it's kind of win or go home for him here. And the other guy making his debut and taking a step up. So, and he's also older. So yeah, at these odds, I could only play McKee. That's dog or pass for me. But yeah, it's kind of a coin flip. So yeah, there's value on McKee. I'm not sure.
I'm probably going to be on McKee because we lost Davy Grant. So I'm probably going to be on McKee at some point.
Davy Grant plus 170, man.
I had plus 155.
Dude, but, plus 170 would have feed families. But
Reese McKee, AJ Cunningham. Do have to mention Frunza will fight to win.
Don't cancel him like that. He's better than AJ Cunningham.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's crazy. Reese live, I don't mind that either. Cheaty's the man. That's a lie. What's up? Good point. We agree. Yeah. Reese McKee's interview with Paul Hughes did like that.
I saw it too.
This card is a bunch of bombs. I agree. Yeah, club and sub. Nikki sub. It's coming.
What's the price on that?
We'll
Yeah,
be
he
there.
had Lusa. Bro, I bet Lusa in that fight, Liam, and bro, I was like, no way he's gonna get him. I'm curious, what is Mickey's sub?
You do good job on your show, Liam. Good job, Liam. Appreciate it. I'm not looking at the sub right now. Do you want to take a look?
Yeah, you can go into the other one. I'm gonna look at
All
it.
right, Key's gonna go first anyway. Next fight, a lovely low-level girls fight. It's our queen, Dione Barbosa, probably one of the biggest favorites and the biggest steam I've seen on a woman fight in great amount of time, honestly, versus Diana the Bum Belbita. Dione Barbosa is 7-3, 32, 5'6", 66.5-inch reach. Diana Belbita is 15-9, 28, 5'7", 68-inch reach. She looks horrible for 28. Odds in these two ladies, you can get the value price on Diane Barbosa anywhere from -1,000 to -1,500. Belbita is anywhere from +675 to +700. Key, I for one think that Barbosa is going to sub Belbita and it's going to look so bad. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is pretty obvious. I was hoping that it would just take late steam and we can make it to props coming out on multiple books so that we could get some decent numbers on ITD and just spam it. But it just, I mean, everybody sort of knows what's going on here. Barbosa's going to do whatever she wants to her. Belbita's in interviews talking about she doesn't care about the outcome and she's already looking forward to coaching and this will be her last fight, blah, blah, blah. So she's ready to quit. Barbosa will gladly finish her. I'm sure that I think positional TKO is live. I think +1,000, +900 numbers on that was a solid play. I had her parlayed with Kennedy at -500, so it sucks
Fuck
to see
you, man.
Kennedy.
Oh, a nasty work parlay. Oh,
Bro, we killed the line
Oh,
movement.
that's
We killed the
Yeah,
line movement.
disgusting.
like
Kennedy at -500. Ooh.
no, Kennedy at
No.
-260.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I
And
have
we have
Barbosa at
Barbosa
minus.
-4 or 500, something like that,
Yeah,
bro.
I have
So,
Barbosa at like -450 or
Yeah, I got
-500.
Barbosa -490 with Marco Tullio -260 for next week.
Hell. You talking about nasty work parlays. But anyways,
Mr.
but
Marco,
nah,
baby.
I think that Barbosa does whatever she wants. I loaded up on her on apps. Dub Club members got some ways to
pause.
play her, so yeah, that's crazy. But
I
yeah,
think
Dub Club
he
members
did it with a
got a
girl.
lot,
That's straight. That's all good. That's fair
so
play.
it'd be all right.
All right. Drav, you got anything different here? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I lean her. I think Barbosa by sub seems pretty square. Probably going to happen. Could we get a KO and ruin everyone's sub prop? Like I said, I just safe to parlay.
I just think the sub is too obvious. It's just too obvious you're gonna submit her. And sometimes when these type of fight happen, all the value on it is just done. Like, bro, I was looking into it. She was -500. I was like, all right, the under was plus money. And then I was thinking, yeah, maybe I can get like 5 or 6 to 1 on a round 1 or round 1 sub for her. Bro, they gave us like +250 on a +200 on a girl to finish in the first round. It's just nasty work. So sometimes you're just trying to go and be different here. We have GB and Liam in the chat. They're good at predicting these type of outcome. But I think KO 1-2 for Barbosa, it's massive number. If you want to be different and play those, I think it could be a sneaky way because we've seen Belbita on the ground. She's a 0, and Barbosa could just go for ground and pound instead of the sub. And I obviously favor the sub by a decent margin, but might have to because Barbosa cardio is a bit shaky in round 3. So if the fight goes into round 3, I don't think she's gonna finish. And on the ground, she's just gonna beat her ass. And then if that's the case, could she ground and pound instead of a sub? Of course she could, and she has some power on the feet also, sneaky elbow and shit like that. So let me just check. All right, but the props for that KO 1-2, I think it could be very, very sneaky. Key, did you play any of them? Or you don't want to tell them, but let me just check. All right, so just KO1 for Barbosa. On Bet River, it's 19-1, and KO2, 30-1. I think it happened in the first round if she found a finish more often than not, but it could be like early round 2 as well. I'm gonna think about it, but yeah, that's the way I'm leaning betting wise. KO 1-2. I'm curious to know what GB and Liam think in the chat because they're normally good at these type of props.
Yeah. This is just nasty work. Yeah, Jewish. I did call her Belbita the Bum. That's her nickname. She'll be cut, and she can do that on OnlyFans when she's out of here. Let's see here. Yep, I agree. Uncle Weezy, thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate that. Cody, thanks for joining us.
Keep killing it, Weezy, man.
Weezy's on a hot run right now.
30% ROI or something like that. Amazing work.
Yes, don't worry, Weezy. I took the wrong ship in that fight too.
Yeah, me too, bro. I think we all fall for it.
Yeah, Barbosa does.
Yeah, she does. She does.
If late, TKO
2-3.
Yeah, that's fair.
It could be pretty sneaky. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play those, but yeah, there's are like big numbers.
All right, let's go to the next fight here. Next fight, Robert Valentin versus Torres Finney. He has finally made it to the big stage. Torres Finney, 10-0, 26, 5'8", 75.5-inch reach. Robert Valentin is 10-4, 30, 6'2", 77-inch reach. Odds on these two gentlemen, Finney is anywhere from -290 to -325. Valentin's anywhere from +245 to +250. Drav, do you know Robert Valentin's finish rate?
No, I don't.
90%.
90%, yeah.
90%. Torres Finney.
He's a dangerous fella.
So who do you got here? You think it's worth a dog shot on Valentin, or is Torres Finney just going to knock him out? He's going to go to decision. What do you think?
I'm honestly, I could see a lot of different outcome in that fight because I'm confident that Finney is going to land takedowns. He's pretty strong, and I think Valentin on the ground could be exposed, like we've seen in his last fight. But on the feet, dude, man, Valentin is dangerous, and he's so much bigger, especially early. That dude is dangerous, and he has a tricky submission game. There's a couple ways I think we could play this fight, but I'm not sure which one is the best. I think there's a good chance that if Valentin win, you catch him early. And I think it's going to be very hard to submit a guy like Finney, personally. So, and we've seen Finney get hurt on the feet before. So I could see Valentin landing like a big elbow or just rocking him on the feet and getting a TKO. And if you look the KO prop for Valentin and the KO 1, they're massive numbers. So I could see that. And then if the fight get extend, I favor Finney because that's because he's going to get his game going, land takedowns and rinse and repeat. And we've seen Valentin slow down and broken in fight before. So that's my other angle. I don't like it as much because I think a sneaky way to play it could be Finney by points. It's like plus 275 last time I've checked because I don't rate his finishing skills that high. Like he does have some power and he has good ground and pound, but outside of that, I don't really see him finishing here. So could see a positional TKO on the ground. We've seen that with Valentin before, but the under is massive here, and I kind of understand why because of the matchup. But at the same time, I could see Finney grinding a decision, and I also could see Valentin catching him early. But Finney should win, should land takedowns and get his game going. But Valentin is very dangerous for me to bet against him, against a guy that is much smaller, making his debut at this big price. So dog or pass, but picking Finney to get it done.
Yeah, I think it's dog or pass. I definitely lean the under for sure. Like I said, Valentin's finish rate's at 90%. Torres Finney can also find a finish. I think he can knock him out with the wrestling, like we talked about. Like honestly, Liam's taking my whole fucking take. Liam's down here talking about Finney getting a TKO. I think a TKO comes on the ground with ground and pound. I think that he will be able to top time Valentin if he wants to. Valentin's live to knock him out in the feet early. Under seem fair. Not too worried about it. I wouldn't go for Valentin's sub. I think Finney's too good of a grappler or wrestler to get subbed by Valentin, to be honest. But yeah, I definitely lean dog or pass for if I got to pick a side. But my bet would be the under here for sure. Key, what are you thinking?
Yeah. This is dogger pass. I want to get to a Valentin spot. But the guy is just an awful decision maker. On the feed, I thought that he had better process, but he just doesn't. Luckily he's a violent guy and finds shots, but every sequence feels like a banana peel type of sequence with him. Like it's just 1 second he's on the back dominating, next second he's in crucifix getting pounded out. Like it's just what are we going through? And then he's getting wrestled by guys that have no business being in the octagon with him. Like it's just no business on regionals. So to me, that's a major red flag. I think that Finney probably gets away with another one here, which is kind of frustrating because the fade will be good. So I mean, for fade purposes, I hope that Finney just dominates so that the fade can grow bigger. But Valentin is very live. Valentin round one, round two, I think a lot of his success is front loaded here. So round one, round two, even potentially. But we've seen Finney hurt. Ralston hurt him in round one, I believe. So we've seen Finney hurt. He has very little striking and has to rely on that wrestling. And like Drav said, if this gets late and sloppy, I think Finney's going to be looking like the obvious side here. So I think Finney even live bet could be a good, decent look. I wouldn't touch this pre, honestly. I think pre bet you have to go Valentin at these odds, but live I could see Finney's shot if Valentin starts to because he doesn't have 15-minute cardio. So if he starts to gas a little bit, Finney continues to make it ugly, make it dirty. Cage clinch, ankle picks. It'll be a show that I'm sure Liam will love watching.
Late and sloppy, just how we like it. All right. Luis Gurule versus Buday Osborne. Luis Gurule, 10-0, 31, 5'5", 64-inch reach, savage. Buday Osborne, 12-8, 33, 5'7", 73-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen, Buday Osborne plus 215, Luis Gurule minus 260. I'll go first here. This would literally be like if it was 2023 Pegasus, like I had a full system where it was always fade the Dana White Contender Series guys coming into the UFC and fighting a vet, and they lose like every time. Unfortunately, I guess the level of combatants we are getting off the Dana White Contender Series is getting better, and this is one of those guys. This guy's a savage. He is very good. Buday Osborne just can't seem to find a win, and he's doing everything right. Like I was on him last fight. I think it was against Lazy Boy, knocked him down, could have had the finish, didn't get it, ended up losing that fight when he was a very winnable fight for him. Can't trust him at this rate. Luis, on the other hand, good fighter, well-rounded, does it all, doesn't die, doesn't break, good cardio, type of guy you want to see in a cage fight. I think it's a no-brainer here. I think Luis finds the win. What do you think, Key?
Yeah, Oday's talented. We know the whole story with Buday. Talented, range, power, speed, athleticism.
It's a shame, man.
You
Nothing sadder than
just,
wasted talent.
yeah, you just can't put it together. Some of it seems mental, and then some of it seems like he just never developed the right way. Gurule probably gets it done, but I'm not taking him at these numbers versus a guy that I think is supremely talented here. And does have the ability to just change fights at this weight class. I mean, his pop is pretty unusual for this weight class. So I think Gurule gets it done, but I'm not impressed by Gurule. Just sort of a Buday implode type of spot. So pass for me.
Oh, talking about pop for this weight class, bro. Our boy Borjas. Yeah. Pop
Whoop that ass.
Yes, sir. All right, Dravhy, what do you got?
Yeah, I was looking into parlay maybe here for Gurule, just based on pace, cardio, pressure, art, all these things. Because he has all of these attributes, and Buday doesn't. Buday's gasser at flyweight. He's a flaky fighter. He doesn't, he looked good early. He's fast. He's powerful. But as the fight goes on, if you push a pace on him, you can break him. That it has been proven before. And I think it could happen again here. And his job is probably on the line in this fight. And I'm kind of impressed with Gurule in some aspect, in the sense that I think he's going to win a couple fights in the UFC. Like, he's very hard to grapple. He has elite cardio. He trained with Brendan Royval and these guys, and you can see it in his style. He's going to be in your face. He's going to, pressure you. He's going to hit some big shots, and then if you want to take him down, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to control him. And he has the wrestling background in his own right, but he just doesn't use it that much, which is kind of my thing here. If I was confident he would wrestle early, I would probably parlay him, because I favor him big time as the fight extends. But round one could be a bit sketchy. I've seen Luis get hurt before, and Buday early is very dangerous, very fast. So that's my concern, and why I'm not really willing to pay the big price tag in his UFC debut. But I think that's a fight he should handle business, do his thing, and probably break him round 2, round 3. So I think round 2, 3 makes sense for Gurule if you want to play him. But Buday, he's going to compete early, so maybe it's a better live spot than pre, though.
All right. Next fight we got is GM3 versus Brad Tavares. Brad Tavares, 20-10, 37, 6'1", 74-inch reach. Gerald Mearshart, GM3, the man, 37, 18, 37, 6'1", 77.5-inch reach. Odds on these two gentlemen, you can get GM3 anywhere from this line's coming in, plus 142 to plus 150-ish. You can get Tavares anywhere from minus 160 to minus, this book is delayed at minus 190. Dravhy, you go first. I mean, we all like GM3. We all like GM3 sub 2-3 fed families. I actually think he could do the same here in this fight, but I'm going to have you tell me why.
There's a lot of reasons to like GM3 here, and there's also a couple reasons why I wouldn't bet sub 2-3, and I would go 2-3 instead if you want to play those lines.
Okay.
First of all, the difference in prices are not it's almost the same price, and Brad durability is clearly declining, and GM3, to his credit, have some sneaky power. And there's some fight where he could have got the KO and just decided to go for the sub, but the KO could be there. GM3 is at value flow now with Bilal, so I like the switch that he did. He's the grappling coach at this gym, and he looks to be in great shape. He looks to be locked in, motivated to win a lot more fights in the UFC, and I think he's far from done in his career. On the other end, Brad Tavares, I think he's clearly declining, and a part I want to mention is the takedown defense and the wrestling. I've always viewed this guy as like elite takedown defense, impossible to take down / hold down, and to me, his takedown defense is still very good. But I think in his last 2 fights, you can see that it's not as elite as what it used to be. And that could be a problem here. Because, Park is a good fighter, but Park is not that big and he's not that good of a wrestler. He took him down twice. And in round 3, he was in dominant position against Brad, but he couldn't advance. But he was still in those positions, and he still got the takedowns. And Brad hurt Park in the first round, to his credit, but still managed to find a way to lose this fight. His last win in his last 5 fights is against a washed Chris Weidman, in a fight where after a round he had him on one leg and he couldn't finish him. And let's not forget, Chris outboxed him in that fight. In the boxing range, Brad had success with the kicks, but I think that his finishing instincts at this point in his career, and even before, not great. He's not a finisher. He's a decision machine. The problem with that is, if you're a decision machine and your durability is declining, your takedown defense is declining, and you're getting older, you're gonna start losing more and more. And we've seen it so far. Against Robocop, he got finished, and against Park, he got taken down, and he got taken down against Robocop too. Normally, his takedown defense hold up in these type of spots. It didn't in his last 2 fights. And a thing that I've noticed on tapes, and it was it really catch my eyes, is some of the time that Brad got taken down in those fights, that's because his opponent catches kicks while he was, doing leg kicks and stuff, and they catch the kicks to a takedowns. And then if you watch GM2 tapes, there's a couple of his takedowns that he get exactly that way, catching the kicks. And what is Brad's best weapon? It's his kicks. So these leg kicks. So, and also GM3 is a southpaw, so it's going to be harder for Brad to land his main weapon, which are the leg kicks, against a southpaw. And I also believe that GM3 is going to be able to land a takedown off a kick and get it. He did it against Muradov. He did it against Petrovsky. And I also think there's another fight where he did it. So he's good at doing it. And I will also say that Brad is very good at defending traditional double legs and takedowns off the fence. But when I've seen him getting taken down, it's sometimes where people catch the kicks or people go to the body lock and transition to different takedowns. And GM2 is going to do that. GM2 is not going to just, shoot for like a double leg, like a classic wrestler. He's going to go to the body. He's going to try to do a body lock. He's going to try to go to a sub and shit like that. And you just can't make mistakes against GM3 on the mat. Like, he's going to submit you if you do. And I think there's just, for me, the way I look into this fight, I think that all the grappling and the wrestling upside is on the side of GM3. I personally give him all the finishing upside. I don't think Brad's going to finish him. And I know GM3 can get hurt, but normally GM3, when he's getting hurt, is against these big guys that hit very hard and that he can take downs. Here, pre-tape, I thought, it's a good matchup for Tavares. He's going to defend the takedown and just outstrike him. Well, that's possible. And if he does that, he's going to win a 29-28 decision. But on the other end, I could see a lot of ways for him, for this fight for him to go wrong, in the sense that if you get taken down and GM3 get on top, it could be the fight. At any point, the floor is lava. And on the feet, bro, I think that GM2 is going to compete more than what people think. He has a good body kick, and he's slow on the feet. Don't get me wrong, but I think his striking is a bit underrated. And I do give him some sneaky power. So against a guy in Brad who's declining and durability is not as good, I wouldn't be shocked if GM3 clip him on the chin. So
what line did you get GM3 at?
I play him at plus 220. I play him big at plus 220. Now the line has moved, and I didn't play any opener, just so you know. That line was there for a long time. But now I still think there's value. I cap this fight as a pick'em, and I'll lean GM3 to win the fight. So that's why I had to play that big at plus 220, because, again, all the grappling upside, all the finishing upside, and I think at their point in their career, they're the same age, but I think GM3 has more gas in the tank. And the new gym, the new look, could only be good for him going into this fight. Brad, always been at Extreme Couture, always been there, 2-fight losing streak, all that shit. People might be low on GM3 because he got finished against the Ritter, but we've known that the Ritter is no bum this far. I think it's fair to say. And yeah, I just think that's a fight where on the feet it's going to be closer than what people think, and that a takedown could be the round or the fight for GM3 at any moment. And he could finish the fight in round 2-3 as well. So, yeah. And I also think there's a world where GM3 win his first decision in the UFC here. Could be a 29-28, very close decision if they get there. But I think that if the fight doesn't hit the scorecard, that's good. That's going to be because GM3 get his end raise. So, yeah, this price is just crazy to me. I think that I know GM3 is always an underdog, but I still think that fight should be close to pick him. And I think GM2 is gonna win it. I'm picking him outright to get it done.
I've never heard someone so passionate about GM3.
Bro,
anything to add?
the last fight against Emmett, I got shit because I don't think you guys were on him, but I played sub 2-3 against Emmett. People were, Emmett never been submitted. Brad never been submitted either. And guess what? GM3, he broke them. He survived and then he got it done. The difference here is I don't think he's going to need to survive getting hurt. I think he's going to get his game going, get on top, and probably find the choke or maybe get a TKO. I don't know. But I think there's just three paths to victory on one side at big plus money. And to me, there's one close decision path at minus 2xx. So easy spot.
GM3 did well, but I agree with American Jiu-Jitsu. Love watching it. We'll be tuning into that fight no matter what. Champ disagrees with you. He thinks GM3, this is bad for him stylistically. The kickboxing is underrated, but I think the difference on the feet is too much. Tavares' takedown defense is still pretty good. 29 subs as a pro. Yeah, he is the submission specialist. Key, you got anything to add here?
Yeah, none to add. I think Tavares is a cleaner striker on the feet. I can understand the GM3 shot. Me personally, I'm not getting to it, but Tavares isn't a guy that justifies these types of price tags consistently. But I don't think that he's washed completely. Takedown defense will be solid here. Be interesting to see if there's any sloppy grappling exchanges late, because we know who that favors, obviously. But I think that GM3 is just not good. But I can't hate the guy's a dog and he fights hard. And he's managed to um, carve out a career as really just being a grappler. So respect to him. But I think Tavares probably wins 29-28, 30-27 even could make sense to me. I just don't think that he has any tools. GM3 has the tools to really give it to Tavares on the feet. So I'm not playing Tavares, but I do think that he gets it done.
Yeah, I'm on GM3. I think GM3 2-3. He's gonna hit again like crack. I think he needs to finish though. I think if it goes to decision, it probably favors Tavares. Next fight, Cortavious Romious missed weight by 3.5 pounds versus Chang Ho Lee. Cortavious Romious 9-3, 31, 5'4", 68-inch reach. Chang Ho Lee is 10-1, 30, 5'8", 69-inch reach. Odds on these two gentlemen: Romious is plus 125 to plus 114. Chang Ho Lee is anywhere from minus 140 to minus 130. Key, I'm gonna have you go first. I mean, I have no interest in betting this fight. Is there any real value here? We watched Chang Ho Lee last fight. I was on the guy Long Zhao, and we watched just a tooth and nail barn burner there. Cortavious against Gaston Blanos did not look that good. Did not look good against Imperato, who is horrible. So, I mean, I guess you got to lean Chang Ho Lee. What do you think?
Yeah, I lean Chang Ho Lee here. I want to get down and wish I could get down a bet on Chang Ho Lee. But the guy just, I mean, there is no such thing as a clean fight with him. Everything is dirty, dark, and ugly. Like, it's just everything is super, super nasty with him. It's a bunch of grappling exchanges, a lot of scrambling, a lot of clinching and cage pushing and dirty boxing. Just and he pushes a good pace due to just having so much volume in the in between games and the in between facets of MMA. But I think that he gets it done here. But Cortavious is a good athlete. I'm unsure what the weight miss means. I mean, 3.5 is crazy. Yeah, that's a crazy weight miss. And it doesn't surprise me that obviously Chang Ho Lee was fine with accepting the fight. But again, at minus 145, I want to at least bet you with the upside that you're gonna have a clean performance. Um, and that's just not who Chang Ho Lee is. And he'll provide probably some fun fights in the UFC. But he's not a guy that's you're gonna feel good about putting minus 140s on. So for me, it's a pass fight as of right now, but Cortavious is not good. I'm pretty sure I played Bolanos against him last time out, so that great bet. But I'm fine with passing on this fight.
Draw, what do you think?
Not much, bro. It's a tricky fight to break down. I think that there could be some potential on Romious when as an underdog because he's dangerous early. He's physical. He's gonna go for it. And Lee, I think, can be taken down, can be put in close fights, and Romious could finish him early. But at the same time, I have to favor Lee as the fight extends based on cardio and durability, and he just seems to be more of a complete fighter to me than Romious. Um, so yeah, and the weight miss and all that, it could be good, it could be bad. We don't really know, and it's always hard to tell. But yeah, I think Lee's gonna get it done. But I think this one's gonna be close. Type of fight where maybe Romeo should look good early, Lee look good late, and it's a close fight. That's the way I see it. But Lee has been good historically to get late finishes or come back after a tough start. So I think it could be one of these spots, and he has proven me in the past that he could do it. So I think he could do it again here, but not a fight I have too much interest in.
Yeah, Chang Ho Lee or pass for me. I'm not impressed with Cortavious Romious at all. Chang Ho Lee has the fight in him, but I wouldn't touch this fight at all. This is just a disgusting fight to bet. Don't know what to make of this fight. Seems to be pretty much standard across the board. I don't think it's worth it. Our main event, Joanderson Brito versus Pat Sabatini. Joanderson Brito, 17-4-1, 30 years old, 5'8", 72-inch reach. Pat Sabatini, 19-5, 34, 5'8", 70-inch reach. Odds on these two gentlemen. Pat Sabatini anywhere from plus 175 to plus 195. Joanderson Brito anywhere from minus 225 to minus 245. I'm gonna go first here. This is loaded, right? I just got a notification say it lagged out. Is it still here?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm gonna go first here real quick. I was very clear and very obvious on fading Pat Sabatini with a 4-unit bet on JSP last fight. I was wrong. What scares me is the breakdown I gave for JSP.
We all remember.
What scares me about the fade that I did with JSP on Pat Sabatini is Brito might actually do it and clap him in the first round and finish Pat Sabatini. But I think if Pat Sabatini is actually able to get his game plan going here, get the takedown, make Joanderson Brito work. I mean, in a blender, this fight is the same thing as JSP. This is take him down, get him frustrated, make him work, let him stand up, take him down again. Like, there's a clear path to beating Joanderson Brito here, and just don't get hit. Joanderson Brito by round 3 is tired. He doesn't show it. He still throws heavy. He still comes forward, but he's not the same fighter as he is in round 1. Round 1, he's super dangerous, super deadly. Pat gets the wrestling going, gets everything on the ground. Let's go. Pat Sabatini can win. I think he wins a decision or a late sub. What do you think, Drav?
I like me some Pat Sabatini, man. Market gave us plus 2xx here for some reason. Market seems to be in love with Brito since the Philly fight. I fed him with William Gomez plus 240 last time out. People said I was crazy because there's no way he would lose to a Frenchman, right? But he did. And
I was on Gomez too.
Now here it's like
all three of us were.
Yeah, and not a lot of people were. I know that for a fact. What I was about to say is, Peg, I thought you just put the fighting nerds glasses on
right.
for some reasons, but
That's bother me.
Shout out Kim, by the way, PFL. Me and Key love some Kim's fighting nerds, man. I think he should be in the UFC one day. This guy, I love him. Yeah, going back to this fight, there's a lot of tapes in the grappling of Brito that I don't like for him in this fight. The first one being, he always grapple. Give me one fight of Brito that has lasted more than 3 minutes that he didn't grapple. Name me one. It's going to be hard because he always fucking grapple. And I don't know if Liam is still there, but he posted a clip on Twitter with Brito in some bad leg lock position against fucking Wilson. If Pat Sabatini has like a heel hook or something on him, he's going to finish it. I can guarantee he's pretty good at these moves. And then I think that he's still there. Perfect. So yeah, I saw you post, Liam, on it. I thought it was pretty sharp. And Pat grappling to me is like one of the best in the entire division. Normally when we have these type of grappler, they're like good at getting a sub or they are decision machine. I think he's kind of both in a way, in the sense that I rate his wrestling, I really rate his top control, and I think that he has very, very good opportunistic submission. Brito, on the other hand, I'm sure he will be more than happy to engage in the grappling with Pat. That's kind of the problem in the matchup. People are going to look into this and going to be like, all right, Brito's going to smoke him on the feet. He hit like a truck, and Pat can't take a punch. While the way I see it is Pat's going to waste no time, and he's going to try to grapple. And I don't see Brito just trying to strike. He's going to try to, go for a front choke, go for a takedown in his own or some shit. Like, he's not the smartest person in the world, Bill Algeo had success in the grappling against him. And I think I've realized Brito's a good grappler in his own right? He's a black belt. He has good submission. But I've realized in some fights he gave up his back to get back up. And you just can't do that against Pat because he's going to take your back and you might be in trouble. And GSP was cooking. He was cooking Brito before that choke. And I'm pretty confident he's not going to get caught in like guillotine or a ninja choke. He's just too high a level of grappler for that. And then the way I see it is that the fight's going to be on the feet early on. I'm going to be sweating, but Pat's going to go for a takedown, get it, and then probably win the first round. But I think at any moment when you get on top, you could find a sub. But more than likely, he's probably going to grind the decision here. I know it's dangerous. I know it's sketchy to bet against Brito, but you give me a guy that's going to grapple against him, that can do that for 15 minutes, and that can submit him at any rounds. I'm going to play that. Brito, I don't trust his cardio as the fight extend. I think in round 3, his power is not as good, and he's still swinging round 1, 2, 3, right? Don't get me wrong. But I think as the fight goes on, Pat's going to be able to time his takedowns even better, and he's going to go for it. Like, he knows the game plan here, and he can't get hit by that man too hard early. So, yeah, to me, it's a Pat spot, and I think the value is just crazy. Again, it's a fight where I think it should be lined close to a pick 'em, and the market giving me plus 200 to one side because of the chin. If Pat had a good chin, he would be a favorite here. Like, if he never been KO and had a good chin, he will be either pick him or favorite in this spot. And now the market, I think, is again overpricing Brito, and they are undervaluing Sabatini in this spot. And that's going to be the last time for a while that you're going to get him at these big underdog price, because again, this level of grappling, you don't see that often. And I think his grappling is as legit as they come. And I think he's going to get it done. Maybe submission, maybe decision. I'm not too sure. If you like the Brito side, I think KO prop, KO1 makes sense. And that's how he's going to cover. But I can put that at like 70%. I just can't. And if the fight go the distance, I favor Pat. If there's a sub, I favor Pat. And as the fight goes on, after the first round, I favor Pat. So just avoid the first round KO, shoot your takedowns, get on top, and go to work. And I think he's going to get it done. So again, big underdog play. I posted them as my free bet of the week on Twitter. And sometimes you feel good about these spots, big underdog. People saying that he's going to get KO'd, that it's an easy spot for Brito in my comments, make me feel even better. So let's see what happens.
All right. Key, what are you thinking, bro?
Yeah, not strong thoughts about this. Sab is fragile. Again, but Brito is an idiot, as we all know. So I can understand Sabatini dog shot here. I think the Brito's hardware and physicality and power edge is just very wide here. And it's not like Brito's an awful grappler himself. He's just a questionable from an IQ standpoint. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Sab's legit. We know how the JSP fight went. That was a good feeling. So I'll pass on this fight and just sort of watch.
Yep. All right. We are at our main event, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. We
Put a comment
appreciate.
first. We have a couple.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. All right, let me do that. Where is this? Yep. Get after it from Jump Street. Brito pulls guilty on Pat. People's TVs will be broken. Yeah,
bro. I'm gonna bet $25 with someone in the chat that Brito's gonna go for a front choke in that fight, and he's gonna end up on his back and lose the round.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I can bet like against with anybody, he's gonna do it. Maybe the fight end early and he doesn't, but at some point he's gonna go for a front choke.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Main event time. It is Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. Josh Emmett, 19-4, 40 years old, 5'6", 70-inch reach. Lerone Murphy, 15-0-1, 33, 5'9", 73.5-inch reach. Odds in these two gentlemen, you can get Josh Emmett anywhere from plus 250 to plus 260. You get Murphy anywhere from minus 310 to minus 360. I don't know why you pay that price. Yeah, I'll go first. Spread of the week is Josh Emmett. I think Josh Emmett has to be a bet here. Lerone Murphy looks good and looks clean. He's got a 7-year-ish age advantage. But Josh Emmett still still hurt people. He took time off. I think everyone's like, oh, he's taking a long time off. That's bad. That's a great thing when you're 40 years old. You know how to fight, bro. You've been doing it for 20 some odd years. Taking a year off after getting a highlight reel knockout, coming back. He's still got power. We've seen Lerone Murphy hurt time and time again. When Josh Emmett cracks him, he might put him out. We've been watching the O's go all year this year. But hey, what are the odds Lerone Murphy finds a loss here? I think Lerone Murphy is very good. We were on him on in his last pause. We bet on him on his last fight. Either way, I just think Josh Emmett covers the spread 5.5, no problem. I think there is a finish. It's probably Josh Emmett. I don't see Lerone Murphy finishing Josh Emmett. He's too durable for that. We watch. He's like the only guy to go the distance with Topuria. So I don't know, man. It's interesting to me. Lerone Murphy's a bigger favorite than Topuria was, I think, too. That's another thing to talk about. But yeah, got to be a dog pass here. I'm gonna predict Josh Emmett to win, and my bet is Josh Emmett plus 5.5. It's spread of the week. Key, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think Lerone wins. No hot take here. Lerone manages to get bonked sometimes, but overall, good process. Does all the right things. Just can be kind of underwhelming as a finisher. But outside of that, I think that the guy is solid. Checks a lot of the boxes. And he's a dog. I mean, absolute dog. Cardio is there. If you know some of his backstory, you know how dope it is. Seems like a great dude. I hope he can get it done here and really get a shot at the top. But Emmett's limited. We know big right hander bust most likely. I do think he lost the Cater fight back in the day in 2022. So for me, it's a pass. But it'll be interesting to see how Lerone is defensively and if he's a little gun shy due to Emmett's power.
What do you think, Drav?
Who's getting arrested live?
Oh, my bad.
They finally got Peg.
You got him, bro.
Just
All right,
finally
guys.
got
Thanks
him.
for watching. We gotta go. Yeah, it's a fight I kind of go back and forth on because, in a sense, I could see Josh hurting him or getting a KO, and he's just a fucking dangerous guy to be like plus 250 against someone I've seen hurt before and I've seen put down before. Murphy to me is a very good fighter, and he has the better skill set over 25 minutes. Very good cardio, could mix in the takedowns here. Good volume, good minute winner. And on the other hand, the thing that I've heard people kind of discredit this week is Josh Emmett ability to win minutes and decision, even while being a moments winner. Like, he's a moment winner, but he's good at winning these rounds and winning these close fights when it goes the distance because 2 or 3 big right hand could sway around for him, basically. And we know how hard he is, and how hard he hit. Sorry. And again, it's just a fight where I see Murphy getting put down his debut. I see Danny Gay putting him almost out cold. And I think, could Josh Emmett knock him out here? Yeah, he could. Like, I really think he could. But at the same time, he's 40 years old, and I have this prospect who's 15-0, and that's his big moment to shine here. And he has shown me to go 25 and look good while doing so. So I have to lean Murphy. But yeah, I think there's value on Josh Emmett personally. I think this price a bit wide. I think that I think Murphy should be a favorite, but I don't give him much finishing upside. And maybe he does get a late finish, but I kind of think he's going to win a decision here. And the price for him to win a decision is not good. And I'm going to have to sweat for the big right hand of Josh Emmett for 25 minutes. So that's kind of scary. So at this spread, that peg play is pretty good. I think that's the way to go because if you go the distance, you're probably going to cash it. And you could cash it by KO also. So yeah, I guess it's the way to go. But I'm going to pick Murphy to win a decision, but a close one and that he won't cover his price tag.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, that's the show. That's so disrespectful to Sam from Canada. I may rather be from France than Canada.
Come on, bro.
Super pause.
Yeah, it was.
MMA, the most everything is Elias. Yeah, that's very true, champ.
Bro, that's fucking possible. That's a good take. Like, I could see that happening. Like Murphy round 3, 4, 5 could be massive.
Okay, so Champs is fading the spread king. It's crazy. And then Lerone Murphy looked terrible versus Gabriel Santos. Good fighter. Mac Wan, ass. Zuba, okay.
think it was his debut against Zuba, but to his credit, like I bet fucking Gabriel Santos against him, and I think that he lost that fight. But Santos is a very he's gonna be a top 15 guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, Emmett decision could be like real sneaky. I didn't hear anybody talk about it, but it's like plus 650, and the fight's gonna go the distance probably, and then you're gonna have the guy landing the bigger shot and maybe getting a knockdown. So yeah, I think the decision
In the smaller cage too.
Yeah, the decision prop could be sneaky, but if you play the decision, you kind of have to play the money line because you could get a KO and you get burned. And he's a big dog, so you kind of have to play both if you like that.
Yeah. All right, BTL parlay time. What are you thinking here?
This week is not gonna be easy, but I find a spot.
Sorry.
My bad, Key. I find one. The under 2.5 for Barbosa, minus 130.
It's minus 130 now.
Yeah, it was minus 145 yesterday. I think it got back.
I almost took it at minus 115 earlier in the week. Seems fair.
Yeah, I've
all
seen
right.
people play Barbosa ITD at like minus 115, minus 120 when the under 2.5 is minus 130, minus 125.
I don't know why you'd even do that. It's crazy. Key, what are you thinking?
Let's see. This is nasty work.
Are you thinking Gurule?
Nah.
If you want, I don't mind that.
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm going to take Luis Gurule minus 255.
I guess I don't like the price as much or even close to it now, but Victor Henry minus 203 is just like the only spot that I'm even close to.
Yeah, it's the harder one, but I think we cooked there.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's not gonna be a Lambo parlay or anything like that, but like it's a big one. It's plus 268. You know, it's minus
368 or 268.
268.
All right, guys. Under 2.5 for Barbosa Belbita, minus 130. Luis Gurule, minus 255 money line. Victor Henry, minus 203 money line, plus 268 total. That's the show. Thanks for joining us, guys. Sorry we had to change the time. We're probably going to have to change the time again next week, thanks to Key this time. Key's schedule's all fucked up. And I think it's going to be Tuesday night live. I think is the game plan. We're working on finding a guest. Oh, here's what we'll do. Tuesday night live, we're going to do it. Leave a comment in the comment section below who you want come on as a guest in the future. That's what we'll do. Idea. You guys pick the guest. We'll get them on the show. If it's not Tuesday, we'll get them on in the future. Let us know who wants to join. Pegasus Picks. All my stuff is in my Telegram. I'm working on something. I may be switching to a Discord soon. I'm going to add a BTL tab there where you guys can come in, talk with us, everything like that. But I'm going to figure that out later. Yo, champ, hit me up. I'll be in Miami Thursday morning. I'm going to hit the press conference Thursday night, go out to a nice dinner, and then I'll be there till Sunday night. So you guys come see me in Miami. I'll get you guys drinks, whatever you want to do. Drav's got an OddsShopper. He's selling picks, $25. Key, screenshot him that you subscribed. He'll give you a discount. His shit's in the link below. It's Dubclub. Dubclub, figure your shit out. Not in Key's purpose. You guys take care of our king here. But let me tell you, get your shit together. All right, that's the show. Thanks for joining us. Everyone enjoy their weekend. Let's make some money tomorrow, and we'll see you for UFC Miami. Peace.